Yeah. Yes, I know I went beg with New Warfare and that I should walk away. Yes, I'm aware I clearly have a gambling addiction. Yeah, but I could also double down and put it on Bear Corpse this week. Yes, yeah, play. Yes, I understand who Pete Rose is. Yes, I understand irony. Yeah, oh, Josh Nutt, aka Nuts here, constructing scenario reviews with another Talking Events. This coming weekend, the raid, No Easy Road, takes place at Georgina Paintball in Pefferlaw, Ontario. It is finale to this season's raid series. I believe it will be the third event that they've done this year, and a departure from the normal format of multi-small teams to 4 large ones of 25 players apiece, plus the commander, and I understand they added a base role. I'll be on site playing for the Bear Corps. Roar! Go Bear Corps! Where this is only one really requirement to be on that team, and that is having a hairy dad bod. So let's jump into the story. There's been several story drops so far for this event, laying out the leaders of the 4 sides as well as NPCs. They're telling the story of the Apex Squad, an elite 6-man fighting force that are working for the private military company known simply as the Company. But before we cover that, let's talk about the current state of the world. It's in complete chaos. It's on the verge of many large conflicts, just looking like a complete shit show. I mean the game world, of course. I'm seeing some parallels here. This scenario, however, takes place in a small, fictionalized country, the Republic of Georgia, a mountain region. It's on the northwestern shore of the Mediterranean. It's one of those fictionalized countries that always seems to be on the verge of a civil war when you turn on the TV. Probably because of those damn mountain folks won't act right. Not like the loyal, charismatic citizens of the great Republic of Georgia. All hail the president. So what transpires here is the Apex Squad is set in under contract with the Republic of Georgia to stop the civil war that's brewing, and then a mission comes down from the company to make contact with the mountain rebels. During that mission, everything goes tits up. The Republic of Georgia finds out what the company is secretly up to, and using video to back it up, plasters it all over the news worldwide, and the company's stock is just dropping quick, and the contract is suspended. The Apex Squad is stranded without support as the conflict reignites in this region. The squad is now missing one of its members, so it's down to 5. It's missing Croc, who sacrificed himself, supposedly, to help them escape, but he is missing. And not knowing what to do or where to head, how to move forward, they disband, heading in separate directions. So we jump in time, fast forward to 2 years, post the Voynia incident, as it's referred to as. The Civil War is still happening. The 2 major factions of the SRV, the Special Regiment of Voynia, and the Mountain Rebels struggle for control of the country back and forth. But in the shadows, several smaller factions fight for perhaps money, glory, or their own higher ideals. We are those small factions. So the winning side will be decided by the team that earns the most points. These points are earned a few different ways. Extracting loot props each round, an all-day mission to capture and control a central antenna array, which is a control box. I think I have some photos here. Making sure your team's color is lit up. That will be scored every 15 minutes, so it's a nice capture mission. Well, a hold mission, I guess, capture hold. Completing faction missions from the NPCs that are received by the commander using the popular Signal mobile app. Interesting enough, it seems you side early with one of the 2 factions, either the Mountain Rebels or the SRV, leading you down a quick kind of change right there to like a quest tree for that faction, which no doubt will change your side strategy depending on what they send you. Oh, and flash missions will be delivered to the commanders on the Signal app as well. So be prepared to run those quickly because I'm betting it'll be a scramble. But what are these mighty sides who could win this battle, and who is leading them? The green side, the Viper Wing, is led by Justin Hennig of Unkind, and is backed up by them. The red side is the Eagle Company. It's led by Aaron Miner, backed up by Red Canary. The orange side is Tiger Cons. It's Sean. Sean Villeneuve. I'm sorry. Division 13 is backing him up. So his team. And lastly, the champ, Blue Bear Corps, Malcolm Graham, and the Red Leaf Militia. Coming through, we're going to beat the shit out of something. Other than the four sides, there's one faction of players who are out there for their own games, the fifth faction. They're the Scab Mercenaries, known as the Wolves' Pride. So they are the head leader of the Apex squad, that was Wolf. And they are led by Kevin Whiteout Ryan. So let's take a quick look at some of these rules. This is a MagFed only event. However, you're allowed to also use breach loading markers that were designed to be breach fed. It's 280 feet per second. All fire rates accepted. It's full auto. Rate of fire must be 10.5 balls a second or under. A little different for this one is everyone can start with round ball, but the right to use first strikes is gained through raising in-game money to buy that perk per player. But with buying the support ability, you can use a box mag, a Q loader, or drum mag. Well, let's jump into the timing for this event. So here's the schedule for the event. The game will be played in 3 parts, each being 1 hour and 30 minutes long. So the HQ, so thematically speaking, part of the mission is for our sides to establish a FOB in Voinia, so that our fighters can bring back and secure loot. Those are built up. So defending this area is going to be awfully important, I would think. The base will consist of a dead box, flagpole, and a marked out zone for reinsertion. Now, we've seen photos of these dead boxes. I think there's some videos of these guys put in some work to make sure that there's enough room for 25 players plus a base person. So it's kind of interesting because you're supposed to be out there on their staging from those areas. So you'll be staged right at the HQ. So you'll be hauling all your shit out there and expect to stay out there for the entire event. You may store acquired loot at your base, and those items will be extracted at the end of each round. Loot won't be counted till the very end of extraction. Very interesting strategy there, waiting until the last second to rob a side to deny them points. Even if you don't make it back to your HQ with them to get the points yourself, you can still deny the enemy. Enemy players can raid your base and steal your loot until it is secured. So it must just sit out in front of the netting for those HQs. I think I'm interested in seeing what it is, if it's just kind of placed out front or if there's a box or something. Another cool aspect to mention, and something I don't think is done enough, IEDs. IED. So if a side can acquire and plant an IED into an enemy zone at their HQ, that will disable reinsertion for 10 minutes. Something, yeah, I don't see this often used in scenarios, and it should be something to be used often. Although at this point, most scenarios I'm going to is the respawns are just tag and go. So this would be kind of interesting. Speaking of respawn, the players must respawn in groups of 6. They do not need to stay in 6-man squads on the field, and you can also call yourself out if you want to kind of like get your squad back. So there's 5 standing there, you might as well go, I'm out, and tag in with them and bring them back in. Kills are not counted towards the scores or missions, so it's free kind of do that. The merchant. There will be a merchant traveling from HQ to HQ with a limited inventory. He needs to be in the HQ before he can be interacted with. So no stopping him on the road and no robbing him at gunpoint, I guess. He will take primarily in-game cash but the rules do say that this is a wasteland, so he may be bought off with other means as well. So that's kind of an interesting. It'd be cool to hear some stories in the aftermath of trades that people made with some other stuff that they had. But so he deals in items. So let's talk about that. Here's a chart included in the rules, and we'll cover this stuff more in depth with the after-action report view of this. But the noteworthy ones that we came across are the here are some of them: the numerous healing items. So that's bandages, painkillers, multi-use EpiPen, and defibrillator, which all heal differently and take different times to heal. So that'll be kind of interesting to see that system play out. Keys, which allows you to open locked chests in the field and loot them. Loot clues. So if you need, for a specific mission, if you need a specific item, you can kind of find out where it is so you can grab it in the next raid. IED codes, which allows you to disarm the ID that's been planted, is my understanding from the way it's worded in the rules. Scav mercenary, so you can purchase 2 scav players to fight for you for 10 minutes or until they're eliminated, and they cannot be revived. And of course, our favorite, upgrade to player characters. So we are obviously fighters, soldiers, or I'd guess at least opportunistic criminals that join up with these faction leaders for various reasons. So outside of the basic skills that we get trained in the following, you can get premium ammunition, which allows players to use first strike rounds. So I think a lot of people are looking to get that. It's a price per character or per player. Explosives training, so you get 3 per team. Paint grenades may only be used after acquiring that perk. Players that receive at least a dime-sized marking from the paint grenade will be counted as a hit. Launchers fall under the same ability, so rockets must be spotted by a referee, so you're going to have to call them over. You can notify the referee before you fire to help ensure your rocket is properly spotted. If a rocket projectile hits a bunker, a wall, directly, not a bounce, any players immediately adjacent to that bunker will be counted as a hit. So yeah, direct hits will do that. Players within 5 feet of the impacted bunker or wall are designated immediately adjacent. If a rocket projectile hits a shield held by a player, the player is eliminated next to the field with their shield. If the projectile hits the ground, any players within 10 feet without hard cover between them and a rocket will be counted as a hit. Squads will be limited to 4 rockets or projectiles per raid. And grenade use will be unlimited. This perk is non-transferable. If the player is eliminated, they must exit the field with their launcher. Riot shield training is 3 per team. Riot shields may be bought or homemade. They may be no bigger than 28 inches wide by 40 inches tall. This perk is non-transferable. When the shield player is hit, they may lean their shield against them. If this player is eliminated, they must exit the field or play with the shield. The heavy gunner, there are 3 per team. Heavy gunners may use box mags. Box mags may be bought or homemade. Players can carry a maximum of 2 pods to reload their box mag. You can swap to a new box mag or switch to a magazine once a box mag is depleted. This perk is also non-transferable. This is like air miles or something. If this player is eliminated, they must exit the field with their marker. This is an interesting one, and I think it can probably be used by all the teams. It's the Scout designation. It's 2 per team. This perk may be used at the start of a round. Players may start 30 paces out from their spawn. This perk may not be combined with another perk designation. As well as all the teams will start with 4 snipers, which allows the player to start with the ability to use first strike rounds. But it must be a bolt-action marker, so it's kind of a nice trade-off. So, like the medical system for this game, when marked by a paintball or tagged by a melee weapon, a player will call hit and take a knee. If a player is not healed within 45 seconds after being wounded, they are eliminated. Wounded players can be healed by a teammate, but you can only be healed once per raid. Is that raid round? Is that like the round or the whole raid event? A player cannot heal themselves, but friendlies can access a downed player's medical supplies to heal that player. Team members may drag wounded friendlies to cover. Players can only be healed once. If a player is hit after being healed once already in that raid, they are eliminated. Once a player has bled out or been eliminated, the player will drop their loot, cash, and props and leave the field. So that's just a quick look at everything that's in there. I'm looking forward to this event. I think it's going to be a good one. I've never played a raid series event. I've always heard good things about these guys, Red and Jesse, who put them on. It seems like they put a lot of effort in, and they like the a little bit of the role play with the NPCs. My understanding is both of them will be playing in the rules that introduces them as NPCs, as Jesse as the leader of the SRV, and Red as the leader of the Mountain Rebels, one of the clans. And apparently they will not be breaking character, so that will be very interesting to engage with after the opening speech. They will be in character, so I'm looking forward to that and seeing how well they do with that, because I'm a big fan of that stuff when you can find it in paintball and in scenario paintball. But we're looking forward to this. We'll be back with the full review of it when that review gets made. First off, we have to do our full review of Mutant Warfare. Because, surprise, I lied to you, I was there. So, I am Josh Nutt, aka Nuts, for Disgruntled Scenario Reviews. And happy hunting. We will see you on the field.